Hi guys, and it's now 9 p.m. So as you know, we always start our webinars on time. So how are you feeling today? How are you feeling this Thursday evening? So let us know in the chat box right now. Do you have a good day at work? Or I think for some of our Muslim friends or maybe our friends from Malaysia, you're actually having a public holiday today, right? So if you guys were on public holiday today, what do you do? Yeah, so we have Has who say, yes, it's New Year for the Muslims today. Nurul says she's feeling tired. Cheng is saying feeling good. Hi, Alice. Hi, Kelly. Kelly says she's feeling fine. Alice says she had a stressful day. Hajono say he did some exercise. Wow, that's great. I think, like exercising is like one of the best ways to distress. I still have not managed to do my exercise for today. So let's see how it goes. Maybe after this, I might go out for a walk. Okay, so did you watch last week's webinar? Were you here actually for last week's webinar? So I think just now we saw Deborah who said that she's here for the second time, and she even said that this is maybe going to start being a bit addictive. Okay, so let's see. Okay, we're going to do a poll right now and see how many of you have actually watched last week's webinar. Okay, so this is an easy poll, so come on, let's participate. Let us know. Yep. So I see some familiar faces. I see like Billy. Hi Sally. Sally say we makan. Purple say, good to see you again. Liu say I'm sad today. Oh no, Liu. I hope that our webinar today is going to perk you up. Okay, so quite a number of you have already voted. I see more than 60% of you have voted. And wow, so I see that a lot of you actually watched last week's webinar. Like, I mean, almost 50% of you who are here today actually watched last week's webinar. I think last week's webinar must have been very good, right? That's why you are back for more. Awesome. So definitely you're not going to be disappointed. We have a very power-packed, very action-packed webinar for today as well. So stay tuned and always remember to stay until the end, because we will always have a very special webinar gift at the end of every webinar. Okay, so I can see, a lot of you are very excited, can't wait to get going. And those of you who unfortunately have missed last week's webinar, not to worry, because you can just go to our website, lunchactually.com/webinar, and you can actually download last week's webinar or even a previous week's webinar. So I know, some of you are new to our webinars, maybe your friends have introduced it to you, and you can just go through our list of webinars. This is actually our 21st webinar. So there's a lot of great topics that we have covered in the past, and definitely would love for you, to check it out. Okay, so the topic that we are going to share tonight is something that's really fun. So I'm going to be interviewing two of our top matchmakers from two of our branches, okay? And we're going to get them to share their juiciest and craziest stories that they have had from their, years of matchmaking experience. And that's the reason why we are calling today's webinar Confessions of the Matchmakers. So this topic came about because we realized that one thing that came up whenever, our friends or relatives know that we work in a dating company, or in my case, started a dating company, they will always ask, so what is the funniest story? What is the juiciest story? What is the weirdest stories? Or clients that you have actually encountered. So to us, I guess for us, it's very much part and parcel of our jobs. But at the same time, we realized that a lot of people would love to hear all of these behind the scenes stories as a matchmaker and the various scenarios that we actually encounter on a daily basis. Okay, so who is excited to hear these stories? Type yes in the chat box right now. Yeah, let us know. Okay, yeah, wow, the answers are coming in fast and furious. Okay, Hannah, Mac, Koon, Cindy, Esther, Leah, Ziming. Ziming say yes, sharing is caring. Okay, so I guess that's why all of you are here tonight, right? Because you want to hear from our experiences and also our stories. Awesome. So I can see the massive enthusiasm that we are having from our audience tonight. So if you are this is your first webinar, because I think some of you have actually asked, how come I don't see anybody else? Okay, so if this is your first webinar with us, not to worry. You're not alone. There are, hundreds of participants actually on this webinar right now. However, you can use this chat box to communicate with the panelists, and you can also ask your Q&A in the Q&A box as well. And we always keep the entire session very interactive, and we'll be sending out surveys. So, do participate, because, we do not want this to be a one-way conversation where we are just like dumping information on you. We really want to get your feedback as well. So, of course, before I begin, I would like to quickly introduce myself to all the first timers here tonight. And I think tonight, Christina managed to dig up this video that we have not shared in any of the previous, I would say, webinars, which is the story about Jamie and I. And I think some of you have actually said that, oh, wow, that was a really nice story. I didn't know about that. So I'm glad that through tonight's video, you get to know a better understanding of me and my love story as well. Okay, so let me very quickly give you a quick introduction. So a lot of people obviously have asked me, how did I end up becoming a matchmaker? So no, my childhood dream is not to be a matchmaker. So like a lot of, like Asian children out there, like you guys, I've been groomed by my parents to study hard, get good grades, get a good job, and then get into a good university. And that's exactly what I did. However, while I was working in the bank, I realized that a lot of my colleagues were single and not dating. And I was very curious, why is that so? Because, like bankers being bankers, they are eligible, they are attractive, like why is it that they are single? But at the same time, quite a lot of my friends were getting married and engaged at the same time. So I was thinking, like, why is it that one group of people are not even dating and the other group of people are actually getting married or engaged? So I realized the reason is because the people who are getting married or engaged, they actually met their other half at school or at university. And that's actually where I met Jamie, as well. Like if you watch the video just now, you have known. So I realized that if you kind of miss the opportunity of meeting someone at school or at university, it gets increasingly more difficult to find someone. So I've been very blessed to have met Jamie when I was 20 years old. We got married when I was 25, had our first child at 26, and had our second child at 29. So the reason why I do what I do, or why I really enjoy, like continuing doing this, even though there have been many ups and downs, is because I want to help others to find the happiness that I found. So in terms of the business, next slide, please. We are in 5 different locations. So maybe everybody can now share with us, where are you from? So where are you from? Are you from Singapore, KL, Bangkok, Jakarta? Wow, so we have Hess from Malaysia, we have Gladys, we have, wow, a lot of people are sharing with us where they are from. We have from Jakarta, we have from Hougang, Malaysia, Tiong Bahru. Wow, I see a lot of familiar faces. Wow, thanks guys for the support. Like so happy to see you guys here again. From KL. Okay, awesome. So, we are in 5 different locations. And of course, in the last 16 years, we have made a lot of matches. We have sent out like more than 140,000 dates. And what we do is, other than matchmaking, we also do dating, date coaching, as well as image coaching as well. And of course, recently we have launched our Lunch Actually app. So you can actually download that in the App Store. So for our clients, you can actually use the app to connect with your matchmakers, with your consultants, and even going forward, for some of the countries, you can start seeing your matches as well. For newcomers, you can also use this app to make appointments to meet up with our consultants. So we are very, very excited about this app, because we believe that this is going to help us to have, I would say, more meaningful interactions with our clients, help our matchmakers to do their job even better, and of course, focus on helping you find love. Okay, so that's about me, and that's about the company. And of course, right now, what I really want to do is to share with you 2 of our matchmakers tonight, because like the topic, right, is called Confessions of the Matchmakers. So we have Geraldine from Singapore, and we also have Selvi from Indonesia. So we are taking feedback from you guys, because I think a lot of you have been saying that you want to meet more of our Cupids from different branches. So we have Geraldine, who have joined us in previous webinar, but at the same time, we have invited Selvi, who is actually joining us for the first time on our English webinar. So let's show some love to our matchmakers right now, please give them the Lunch Actually welcome. You guys are super awesome, always very welcoming. Yes, so, say hi to Geraldine, say hi to Selvi. I think, it's still a bit nervous for them, even though like Geraldine have joined us before, Selvi first time on the English webinar. webinar. Yes, so yeah, we have Joshua who said hi, we have Kelly who said hi, Purple who said hi. Awesome. So, okay, I shall not continue my monologue. Now I would like to bring on to, of course, the spotlight, Geraldine. So Geraldine, maybe you'd like to do a quick intro about who you are, especially to some of our newcomers.
Okay, hi everybody. So my name is Geraldine. I'm a matchmaker here at Lunch Actually Singapore. So I honestly truly enjoy being a matchmaker because I really love being people together. I enjoy seeing the joy and happiness that it brings them, especially when they meet the other half, and especially when we have success stories and success couples as well.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Geraldine. And of course, we have Selvi. Yes, Selvi, please introduce yourself.
Hi, thank you, Violet. Hello, everyone. My name is Alfie. I'm a matchmaker in Lunch Actually Indonesia. Yes, of course, I love my job because being matchmaker actually is an honor. Because I like to help people to find their soulmate. Because your happiness is gonna be my happiness also. Thank you.
Thank you, Selvi. So thank you so much for both your introductions. So before we jump into the first topic, right, where both Selvi and Geraldine will be revealing to us their craziest and juiciest client stories from matchmaking, we'll like to find out from you guys first. Okay, I know some of you have sent in your questions and those were really great questions, but at the same time, we just want to find out from you, after meeting both of them, like in person on Zoom right now, what are you most curious to find out from our matchmakers tonight? Yes, so let us know. What are you most curious to find out? Yep. So waiting for your answers. So what like if since you're meeting them tonight, you have them right in front of you. What are you most curious? What is the question that you have for them? I think everybody like still thinking. Okay, so we have Billy who say funny stories. Okay, we will have that. And then Kelly who say, what were your most unexpected matches? Yeah, I think that's a good one. And then we have WW who say, do you think that our expectations are too high? Okay, that's also something that we'll be covering. Oh wow, this one is a juicy one. Daniel asks, have you met clients who want to date you? Okay. So ladies, I leave it to you guys to share, since we already say we want to share juiciest stories, right? Okay. Kun say, what is the most touching story? We have CW who say, what is the success rate? Sunny who asks, are your matchmakers single or married? Joanne say, how do you match people? Jason say, what if I'm interested in matchmaking with the matchmaker herself? Okay, I think, we are seeing some similar pattern in the question here. Okay, Nuru say, what's the longest time you were able to matchmake someone? Wow, okay, let's see. Eve say, what are the most common reasons that men are single? And then let's see what else. Charles say, what are the ladies thinking of? Ching say, what is the most senior couple? Wow, I think we can do a Q&A just on these questions alone. Okay, awesome. So thanks guys for participating. I haven't even gone through like all the rest of the questions. Like, I think there were like 50 of the questions that have popped up so far. Okay, we will do our best to get back to those. So ladies, I think you have heard from our participants tonight what they are looking out for. So in your sharing, please do your best, to cover some of these items. I think the one that they are very interested to know about is, like are people looking to date our matchmakers. I think that there seems to be a common theme. Okay, so a few weeks ago, we covered the topic matchmaker, how do you match? And I think from there, those of you who attended, right, you would know how challenging it is to actually make the best match for each client. So who was actually at that webinar that day? The topic is called matchmaker, how do you match? Yeah, so who was actually there? Yeah, let us know. Yeah, so quite a lot of you, Cheng, Daniel, yeah, so you say that you were actually there. Billy say he missed that. Kaska say he was there. Jasper, Benny. Okay, so if you did, right, you would have learned that our matchmakers actually have to do a lot of work behind the scenes to make sure the matches happen. And of course, like our matchmakers are super invested in every single match. And then when it doesn't turn out well, right, they actually will feel very disappointed. I mean, of course, the client will feel disappointed, but I mean, I want to tell you, actually, our matchmakers also feel super disappointed. And also because our clients come from different industries, backgrounds, and personalities, there are also no two people that's the same, right? I mean, we are all unique. So as a result, we always work one-on-one and it's very, very personalized. Okay, so I think, right, like all of you are thinking, okay, Violet, I think enough already, enough. We want to hear the juicy stories. Okay, I know. Okay, we are going to get there now. Okay, so Geraldine, we'll start with you first. Okay, so share with us. I think, like Geraldine, you have like lots and lots of stories to share with us. So over to you, Geraldine.
Hi, Violet. Thank you. So I do have to agree. Over the years, I've really had a lot of strange and weird requests. But I think, some people may not know this, but one of the most common weird requests is actually for singles who only want to meet matches from very specific occupations. So while we understand that your occupation is important, it's not really a matching factor for us, but this doesn't really stop clients from requesting. So, for example, I've had many gentlemen clients who request for ladies who work in service or hospitality industries, such as air stewardess, concierges, or nurses. Sometimes they even especially only want SIA stewardesses. So many times, the gentlemen will say that, oh, they feel that ladies who work in the service line are more gentle and more submissive. As for the ladies, I have many clients who only want to meet doctors or surgeons. So maybe to ask this question to the ladies in the chat, is it true for you guys as well? Maybe, state why ladies only want to meet doctors.
So far the replies that we have is like no. Okay,
No?
interesting.
Okay,
what
sure.
about the guys? Is it true that you all only want to meet like ladies from the service or hospitality industries? Okay, so I think all professions welcome. That's good. That's good. Yes.
That's very good. Yes. So a lot of ladies actually why they prefer doctors or surgeons in terms of a weird occupation request is because they feel gentlemen working in this industry are more compassionate and are kinder. However, I definitely feel it's a myth because I've met many ladies working in different industries such as banking or IT who are just as gentle, just as demure, and also men working in other industries who are also very compassionate and enjoy volunteering on a regular basis as well.
Thank you, Geraldine, for sharing that. Yeah, so I think, there are certain, what you call stereotype when it comes to certain professions. So of course, like what Geraldine has shared, like people who are in the service industry or like maybe like nurses. I think some of you have mentioned teachers as well. I think people maybe feel that they are more nurturing, they are more compassionate. But I think, like in every industry, like what Geraldine has shared, there are also people who are like that as well. And I think I do remember that, there was this particular lady who said that she only want to meet doctors. And then at first I was thinking like, what is the reason? So I mean, it was very valid after I talked to her. So I think it's because her entire family are all from the healthcare industry. Like most of them are actually doctors. So I think maybe in terms of wavelength, she feel that she connect better with them and her family connected better with them as well. But of course, like what Geraldine has shared, we do not match according to professions. Like it is good to have. We will see if we are able to. But at the end of the day, I think like what a lot of you have shared, we look at a lot of other factors. Like I think if you have watched our Matchmaker, how do you match? You know that we actually match a lot on compatibility of values, because we feel at the end of the day, like compatibility of values is going to help in a long-term, long-lasting and fulfilling relationship and marriage. Okay, so Selvi, I think you also have your own, like fair share of juicy stories. So over to you.
Yes, thank you, Violet. I also have my fair share of strange juicy requests from my clients. So the crazy story is I met some clients, it's both male and female, that told me that they're looking for a match who is still virgin. Yes, still virgins. So it's really hard for me to help them for that because it's too personal. And if I ask to all my clients, may I know, are you still virgin? I think it's not something that I would ask, because I have asked my male clients like this. What do you think if I met you with a virgin female client? if you're going on date with her, but you cannot touch her hands, you cannot kiss her or even hug her. And the guy answered me and he said like this. So I think you better put her in the museum, so people can only see her from the window and written like, please do not touch her. So I think it's a bit funny, yeah, because for us, a matchmaker, every match that we do based on the compatibility in values, which is the foundation in a long-term relationship. So that's what we will continue to do. If I tell clients that is something very important to them, then we advise that they have that discussion sometimes when they are getting closer like that. Thank you, Violet.
Thank you so much, Selvi. I think your story has tickled a lot of our participants. So a lot of people are saying, ha ha ha, how to verify. But I think, like definitely you came up with a very good response to them. And I think a lot of times that's also what we do as matchmakers as well. Like at the end of the day, like I always tell my consultants, I always tell my matchmakers, we are not waitresses, like we are not here to just take orders. But at the end of the day, we are actually nutritionists, we are actually dietitians, and our role is really to, of course, hear from what our clients are looking for. But at the end of the day, we want to make sure that what they are looking for is suitable for them, is reasonable, it's like at the end of the day, it's something that would work for them in a lifelong happy relationship. So thank you so much, Gigi and Selvi, for sharing that. Okay, so now I want to ask both Geraldine and Selvi, right? Like, what do you actually love and hate the most about being a matchmaker? Because I think a lot of our cupids, like our matchmakers, when they first join us, like I think a lot of people, especially ladies, right, they love being in a matchmaking industry. Like, that's why I also have a lot of friends who are always asking, oh, how do I become a matchmaker? So of course there are a lot of great things about being a matchmaker, but I'm sure, like now that Geraldine and also Selvi have been in this industry for a while, I think they would have more things to share with us, as in what when it comes to what do they love most and what they hate most about being a matchmaker. So Geraldine, what can you share with us?
Thank you, Violet. So personally, for me, what I love the most is when my clients are receptive, when they take out advice, and especially when they go on to dates with a very positive and open mind. At the end of the day, all we want is for our clients to find happiness and success. So personally, I do feel mindset is very important when you go on to the first date. As for what I dislike the most, I personally dislike it the most when clients have too much of a checklist mindset. So, of course, we're here to try our best to find you like the best match. But, I think clients also need to understand sometimes we really cannot give them 100%, 10 out of 10 things on their checklist and what they're looking for as well.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point, Geraldine. I always tell clients, right, or even friends, I say, I wish that we have this machine where we can just type in everything, type in every criteria, and then after that, we just press enter, then the perfect match will come out. But obviously, that's not how things work. At the end of the day, when we are matching, like what Geraldine has said, we are not just matching on one person's criteria. Like whoever we match the person with, he or she must also meet the other person's criteria as well. So it's very difficult to have that 100%. And sometimes, we do have such clients where, or potential clients who's looking for that 100%. So when we meet such clients, we actually advise them not to sign up at that point, because at the end of the day, we also do not want to promise them something that is not possible. So there are cases where we do not sign people up. I mean, so for example, like there was this guy who came to us with like one piece of A4 paper, and his handwriting is very small, and he filled up that entire A4 list of paper with words, and he showed to the matchmaker and said, this is what I'm looking for. And a lot of the criteria were actually contradictory to each other. So at the end of the day, we just share with him that maybe at this point, like he wants to spend a bit of time thinking about what are his must have. So usually we'll advise our clients to have like maybe 3 must have, and then others could be good to have. I mean, of course, maybe sometimes we do get so lucky that someone matches all the must have and have many of the good to have as well. But I think it's important, like what Geraldine has mentioned, that it's really most important to look at the more important things and not just expecting everything to be 100% perfect. What about you, Selvi?
Yes, thank you, Violet. So for me, what I love the most, is when the client is all very open, flexible with the preference, and trust me to do my best. Because my goal is just to bring them happiness. But if the clients, they're like a pessimist, it will be hard for them to, find a match, because with not trusting anybody means you're not trusting yourself too. I believe that everybody's need deserve to be loved and to be happy. That's why you have to be like more like positive in thinking and mindset, and be ready. Thank you.
Yeah, Selvi, I totally agree with that. So it's like the mindset is very, very important because, like, for example, like I've met ladies, like when they first come to us and then they will say things like, oh, all the good men in the world are like dead, married or gay. So if they have a very pessimistic mindset like that, then nothing is going to work out. It doesn't matter how many men we put in front of her, like it would never work out because in her mind, she already has the mindset that there are no good men in the world. So since there are no good men in the world, whoever we put in front of her would be a bad man. So I think, like what Selvi have said, it's important to really be positive and also keep an optimistic mindset. So thank you so much both for sharing. And of course, we would like to keep it real because, yes, being a Cupid, being a matchmaker, it's amazing. I mean, you keep seeing the lovely smiles on Selvi and Geraldine's faces, but at the same time, it can also be challenging and stressful. So our topic for tonight, is like, of course, getting insights from our matchmakers, Selvi and Geraldine, on how they deal with challenging and difficult situations. However, before we start, as usual, we like to keep our webinars interactive. We would like to give you a chance to think like a matchmaker. So who would like to do that? Who would like to, join us in this, we'll give you scenarios and then, you share with us, like maybe if you're the matchmaker, how would you actually deal with that situation? Okay, so a lot of you guys are already like saying like, okay, like me, like I can try. Okay, awesome. So love your energy as usual. So we are going to share our first scenario. Okay, so Chris, maybe you can help us share the screen on our first scenario. Yeah, so we have a lot of people who say, yes, me, I want to try. Okay, awesome. Okay, so this is the first scenario, okay? So imagine you are Geraldine or you're Selvi and you're the matchmaker. Amy is your client. You have proposed 5 profiles to her since she started her membership. However, she doesn't like any of them. And whenever you probe a bit further, she cannot tell you why she does not like any of them. And all she says is that she has a gut feeling. Okay, so she says that, okay, my instincts are very good. I have the gut feeling that I'm just not going to get along with any of these guys. Okay, so now imagine you're the matchmaker. I'm going to put out the survey right now. If you're the matchmaker, so what are you going to do? Okay, I've launched the poll. Okay, so let's hear from you. If you're the matchmaker to Amy, if you have Amy's matchmaker, what would you do? Okay, so some of you have voted. I think more people can vote. Yes, so the votes are coming in right now. So let's see. What would you do if you are Amy's matchmakers? Okay, so more than 40% have voted. Okay, let's see. We should have more. Yes, let's get to maybe 50%. Okay, 60%. Okay, let's see whether we can get to 70%. I give you a few more seconds and then I'm going to close the poll. Okay, going to close the poll right now. Okay, so we have 74% of you guys. So, like definitely majority of you guys are saying, suggest Amy to work with your in-house dating coach on her dating mindset and expectation. Wow, you guys learn fast. I think a lot of you have met our coaches, right? I think you have met Angela. Angela have come on to the webinars many times. So I think probably you guys either have worked with Angela or you, really have enjoyed her advice. Okay. And 22% of you guys actually say, patiently go through her preferences again and continue looking for her matches. Okay, so awesome, thanks for taking part in the poll. So now I'll just like to ask Geraldine to share with us, as a matchmaker, obviously this is something she does on a daily basis, what she would actually do.
Okay, so I will have to say that, it is true. I would also pick C. So the majority of you are correct. I would also suggest Amy to work with our in-house dating coach in terms of mindsets and expectations. So the reason why is because some clients may not want to open up to us no matter how much, we try to ask. They may feel uncomfortable or they may feel that there's a barrier there. However, our in-house dating coach, Angela, I have to say, I personally find that she's really amazing. She's able to effectively understand clients on a deeper level. She's always warm, always willing to help. And I've personally seen a lot of clients improve from her coaching. So here at Lunch, actually, we also do believe that in order to meet the right one, we have to be the right one first of all. And this all stems from your mindset before you even go on your first date as well.
Thank you so much, Geraldine, for that. Actually, we have a very good question from one of our participants tonight. So the question is, but it might not be her issue. How can we be sure that the matches are not anyhow picked just to complete the jobs? Okay, this is a very good question. Okay, so actually for our matchmakers, they are assessed on not just the number of matches that they make, they are assessed on like the results of these matches as well. So other than on an annual basis where we have this competition to find the matchmaker of the year, where we will pick a very big number of matches that they have done. We will come up with the scoring to see who is the winner for the country, who is the winner for the entire company as well. But other than that, we watch our matches results very, very closely. So on the branch itself, like their managers are watching it like a hawk. So I think Geraldine and Selvi, you all can share a bit more about this. And even from the management meetings, like on our scorecard, the satisfaction rate of our dates is one of the things that on the management level we look at all the time. So we have a very clear idea of where we would want it to be. So our satisfaction rate, we look at it at least at 85% and above. So even as CEO, if I see that the number for that week falls below 85%, like we will go down to it. I'll ask the country heads what happened. The country heads will find out from the matchmakers. If we have to do retraining, we do retraining. So you do not need to worry that our matchmakers will anyhow match. And the other thing is also, there's no reason why we want to anyhow match, because at the end of the day, our objective is we want to help each client as quickly as possible. Once they are able to find someone, then we can work on someone else, because we constantly have new clients that's coming in. And because if we are going to have unhappy clients and people who are going to complain about their matches, that's not going to be something that's fun for our matchmakers as well, which actually will be something that you'll be sharing a bit more in our subsequent questions. So do stay tuned. Okay, so we have our second scenario. Okay, so Chris, maybe you just help us to put up the second scenario. Okay, so this scenario is a male client. Okay, so okay, I'll just start reading first. Okay, so this client is actually Peter. Okay, so Peter is well established. He's a self-made man. He has worked very hard to be at the status where he's at right now, which is actually very similar to a lot of our clients. And of course, as a result, his expectations are very, very high as well. He only wants to date women who is like 1.7 meters tall, must be slim build, must have long hair, never been married before, and also born in certain zodiac years. Okay, so I think for some people, like they are very into horoscopes. So like Peter is one of them. Despite his stringent criteria, we actually managed to find him a match called Stacy. So Stacy is great. She has great personality. She's attractive, independent, and someone who is like him, very hardworking. Also, climb up the corporate ladder. So of course, like as the matchmaker, in this case, you thought that they would be one of those like powerhouse couples together. Okay, but this is the thing, okay? So like I say, being a matchmaker is not always easy. There's going to be like some things you need to work with. So the challenge here is that Peter has already said he only wants someone who is 1.7 meters tall and above, but Stacy is only 1.65 meters. And having worked with Peter for a while, you know that Peter is going to reject this profile based on this fact. Okay, so as Peter's matchmaker, what are you going to do? Okay, so I'm going to launch a poll right now. And what would you do? Let us know. Okay, all the answers are coming in right now. Yep, quite a number of you have voted. Come on, come on, come on. This is an interesting one. So yeah, what would you do? Interesting. So it seems that we have a very clear winner for this question, even clearer than the other one. And it's quite interesting that the second highest is not something that I would expect. Okay, quite a lot of you have voted. Okay, 70%. Come on, come on. Can we do a bit more? Okay, this one is interesting. Okay, I'm going to close the poll right now. Okay, so 80% of you have chosen. What do you think 80% of you have chosen? Come, tell us in the chat box. how 80% of the people have chosen what? Okay, yes. 80% of the people have chosen B. You're right. Okay, so let Peter know about Stacy's height, but honestly tell Peter why you think they would be a great match. Okay, so that's what 80% of you have chosen. So, however, I thought it was quite interesting. 10% of you guys, which is the second highest, actually say, do not disclose to Peter regarding Stacy's height and let the two of them meet on the first date. Okay, so that was interesting. And the third highest is talk to Peter and ask him to open up his preferences. Okay, awesome. So thanks guys for participating in that. And of course, now I'd like to invite our Selvi to share what she would do in such a situation.
Okay, thank you, Violet. Yeah, actually, 85% they're good. They're talented to be a matchmaker already. Because as a matchmaker, Peter matchmaker, my answer is B. I also will honestly tell Peter about Stacy hates, not as tall as what he looks for, but before I tell him, about her hate, I will explain to him that she's very compatible with him in terms of their values, because I would like to advise Peter not to make this an obstacle for him to meet Stacy because of they make a very good match, encourage him to give both of them like a chance to get to know each other first, because like if Peter never met Stacy and get to know more about her, then how can he know that they're not like connected each other? Thank you.
Thank you, Selvi. So we have Kaska who say A, the A answer is funny. I wonder if he would notice. And then I think we have another quite a funny answer just now who say A and C results in instant career ending. Okay. So I think, like just to answer Kaska on A, I think yeah, he might not notice because, like for ladies always wear high heels. And then I think guys sometimes also might not have a very good, maybe not just guys, I think guys and girls, right? Sometimes we think, okay, 165 is this or 170 is this. We might not be very clear about it. But I think at the end of the day, it's really about integrity. So, like if we already know that Peter only wants someone who's 1.7 and above, I think, as a professional company, like I don't think it's fair to him that we just, hope that he doesn't notice. And even though if he doesn't notice and they actually got together, but eventually he finds out, I think he will still be very mad at us. So I think that is what we do. We always be, honest, but of course then share with them very clearly and try our very best to convince them. Actually, this is one of the earliest success stories that we have where, like the lady, she didn't want to meet the guy because of her profession, of his profession. But at the end, because we just keep convincing her, she spoke to not just one matchmaker, she spoke to everybody in the office. And I think because we were just so, I would say persistent, so sincere in just sharing with her why this guy is such a good match for her, finally she agreed. And of course, the rest is history because like they are our first couple to get engaged. Okay, so we have our third scenario. Okay, Okay, this is also another interesting one. So we have Jeff. Okay, so we match Jeff with this lady who is called Eliza. So Jeff went out with Eliza, and then Jeff felt that the date went really well. Okay, however, when you took Elsa's is it Elsa or Eliza? Could be confused. Yeah, Eliza. Okay, but when you took Eliza's feedback, she said that she did not feel any chemistry, which is something quite common on first dates, because sometimes I think some people when they go on first dates, they are really looking at that instant chemistry. They are looking at that electricity, right? So Jeff was actually shocked to hear this, and started to push the blame onto you for not matching properly. So like I mentioned, so these things do happen. So as the matchmaker, what would you do? Okay, so going to put out the poll. Okay, so what would you do if you are the matchmaker for Jeff and Eliza? Okay, let's see what you say. Okay, so keep the votes coming. I think there's a bit of lag. I think you guys are already voting, but I still don't see like the percentage yet. Okay, so now 30%, 40%. Okay, let's see how it goes. 50%. Okay, just give you a couple more seconds and then I'm going to close the poll. Okay, 60%. Okay, awesome. Okay, so similarly, majority of you went with A, which is calmly explain to Jeff that sometimes these things happen and advise him to ask Eliza out as friends. The second highest is talk to Eliza and convince her to give Jeff a chance. And the third highest is apologize to Jeff and tell him you find a better match next time. And I think C probably you also feel is career suicide. Feel angry that Jeff is accusing you and tell him that it's his problem for not being able to attract Eliza on the date. So I think actually 1% of the participants tonight actually chose that. Okay, interesting. Okay, so okay, let's see who wants to take this. Okay, so I think Selvi, yeah, maybe you want to share your thoughts on this scenario 3.
Thank you, Violet. So the answer is A, same like me, because I will like calmly explain to Jeff, because sometimes this thing is happen because we cannot control their feelings, and it's normal to, in the first date, because on the first date, you guys like feel a bit awkward, so it's these feelings is kind of normal. So at the same time, also I will ask Eliza the reason why she didn't have any chemistry, because chemistry can come like suddenly like that, it's not a magic like abracadabra and then boom in love. No, because that's why it should be start by getting to know each other first, and going to the friendship zone. After that, going to the like steady zone, and after that, you going for like engage and then married. So it's so it's just step by step. But the important is you have to give each other chance, to get to know more like that. Thank you.
Thank you, Selvi. What about Gigi? I'm sure you have encountered some of these scenarios as well. So what do you usually do?
Personally, yes, I have encountered, situations like this, but I do totally agree with Selvi. So I do also naturally tell ladies, sometimes don't expect like instant chemistry on the first date, because at the end of the day, every relationship also starts out as friends first, exactly like what she says. You really have to take time to really get to know each other, know each other on a deeper level first, before you can actually really feel, the commitment to want to be in a relationship as well. Ultimately, at the end of the day, I don't think anybody feels going into the first date thinking, oh, I need to marry this guy as well. So definitely I do feel that she's right. I will also explain to Jeff, and at the same point of time, I will also have to speak to Eliza about it as well.
Yeah, so I definitely agree. And actually, a lot of times, right, like the couples that have met through us, that they have found success, that they end up like dating, or even they get married, like it's not love at first sight. So I think maybe this is something that sometimes people have like maybe false impression of, like they are like, maybe I mean can't blame us lah. Now we watch a lot of Korean dramas, Hollywood movies, so like my husband, during this whole lockdown period, COVID period, he has actually been very nice. He has been sitting down with me and watching Korean dramas with me, and with his very analytical mind, he told me that I know what is the success of Korean drama. Then he say, right, usually it's always love at first sight. Then I say, oh yeah, that's true. So you see, but the truth of the matter is, right, most of the time it's not love at first sight. So we have spoken to many of our couples, and usually after they have gone on their first date, they will feel that it was okay, like I didn't hate the person or anything like that. Like I didn't immediately feel attracted to the person, but I thought it was comfortable meet up, like we had a good chat. And it's really about going on the second date, going on the third date to find out more about each other. And eventually, you know, like maybe between their fourth to seventh date, and that's where they start falling for each other, where they start connecting with each other, and then eventually being a couple. So, you know, like a lot of you have also said, of course, first, you know, we need to talk to Jeff and, you know, tell him that, okay, not to worry, you know, like let's see what we can do. We can help you to find future matches, or maybe you can just, you know, continue to talk to Eliza to see whether you can start as friends. But of course, you know, also sharing with Eliza as well that, you know, if Jeff is going to ask you out for another date, and if you don't absolutely hate him, you know, give him a chance. And at the same time, you're actually giving yourself a chance as well. So I mean, just to share with you a story, like I was doing this dating boot camp for ladies, and then there was this lady, she was actually having this guy who's very, very interested in her, but the guy is totally not her type, and then she has kind of like friend zoned that guy. But after the boot camp, you know, where I have shared with her, you know, some of my experiences, some of like, you know, these different tips, she actually came away from the boot camp saying that, you know what, Violet, I think what I'll do is, yeah, you're right, I'll just give him a chance and give myself a chance. And I was so happy, you know, about 2 years later, because then we became Facebook friends, and then she will like update me on Facebook now and then. So 2 years later, she actually told me that, Violet, guess what? We are getting married next week. And I was like, oh my goodness, that's so awesome. So I think sometimes it's really about, you know, like keeping an open mind and giving not just the other person a chance, but really giving yourself a chance as well. Okay, so I mean, thanks, ladies, for sharing all those scenarios. So, you know, like obviously Geraldine and Selvi together with Christina, you know, they have come up with all these different scenarios to share with you guys. But now what I would like to do is, of course, look at all the questions that you guys have sent in. Like I say, you know, you guys have you know, sent in a lot of very, very interesting questions. Okay, so the first question that from the Q&A that you guys have sent in is, what's one thing you wish more clients knew that would make your job a lot better or easier? Wow, I love this question. Like the person so thoughtful to ask this question. So I'm going to point this question to you, Gigi.
Okay, so for me, I think sometimes I wish clients would know how much effort it takes, how much effort it takes for us to actually look for a match for them. So, you know, we're not using algorithms to find them a match, and, you know, we're not using an instant machine. We actually do look at each profile carefully to handpick a match before finalizing the match for them. So, you know, some clients, they are, you know, quite kanjiong. They request for another date immediately, right after they have gone on one. So, you know, I really do appreciate when clients are patient with us, because, you know, it does take some time for us to also carefully look for another match as well.
Nice one. Thank you, Gigi. Okay, so for Selvi, we have a question for you here. Do you have any advice for singles when listing down their requests or requirements when it comes to, you know, finding their future partner?
Okay, thank you, Violet. So, for me, I will tell them if they put so many borders in preference, it will give them a smaller chance to get success in meeting the right ones. So they should be more flexible with the criteria. It should be start with the connection first. Are you connected or not? And the rest will follow. Thank you.
Thank you, Selvi. Okay, I love this next question as well. Like, okay, so this question is for Geraldine. Okay, what was your "they don't pay me enough for this" moment? Great question.
Oh my God. Okay. It's when clients scream and shout at me, I guess. You know, when a date doesn't go as planned, you know, or they lose their temper. To be honest, you know, it's also really quite disheartening and a bit sad. However, you know, I do totally understand that being a matchmaker is actually a very emotional role. So how I usually deal with it is just to remain calm, you know, stay positive at the end of the day, really listen carefully to the clients, and ultimately, you know, do your best to just be there for them.
Yeah, I think this is a great question. And actually, this was also something that we came across when we first started the business, because we start to realize that sometimes, you know, like our matchmakers really get burned out, because like some clients, you know, they will just get very nasty. They will just start screaming and shouting at them. But at the same time, you know, we do understand, because I mean, we are not condoning the behavior. We're not saying that clients should do that. But I think we do understand that when it comes to the matter of the heart, like people can get very emotional about it. And that's also one of the reasons why we work very hard on our our company culture. So like we always make sure that, you know, we sayang back our our matchmakers. So you know, we have a very family kind of culture at work. And you know, when something like that happen, like someone is always around to just I would say comfort, console the matchmaker, you know, just like take them out to go and get a drink, you know, or just ask them, okay, just chill out, no worries. So these are also some of the ways that we have done to help our matchmakers to, I would say, not to be so stressful. And of course, you know, like over the years, we also have learned how to manage our clients' expectations better as well. So I would say definitely it still happens now and then, but it's not as much as it used to. Okay, so my next question is for Selvi, and I think this has also come up in the chat box just now. So Selvi, what do you think makes a successful matchmaker? So I think maybe some of our participants tonight, they might want to pursue a career in matchmaking, or maybe even someone just now say, are you looking to hire new people? You know, like a lot of your scenario seems to be interviewing questions. Okay, so maybe Selvi, from your perspective, you can share like what would make a successful matchmaker here at lunch actually.
Okay, thank you, Violet. So, to be a successful matchmaker is someone who has empathy, you know, that listen more about the client needs and then tries to understand their situation, also giving them useful and objective advice with understanding, patience, and no judgment. So the patient will like trust to tell you the story, the needs, everything like that. Thank you.
Thank you, Selvi. Okay, so another question. Okay, so this one is like, wow, drilling very deep already. Okay, so this question is for you, Gigi. Do you have any specific number of matches that you have to achieve? So for example, your KPI or your target?
Hello, sorry. So yes, actually, based on the number of clients that we have in the database, we do have our respective KPI and targets. But at the very same point of time, you know, we don't match just for the sake of matching. We definitely ensure that every match is at least a 60 to 70% of what both parties are looking for.
Yeah, thank you, Gigi. Okay, so we have some questions here that is like right here on the chat box. So Jason asks, are there any male matchmakers? Okay, so I let both of you share lah. Okay, so maybe Gigi, you share first. Do we have any male matchmakers?
Personally, in the Lunch Actually Singapore office, there is we do have one male consultant. However, I think he's more of a dating consultant, not so much of a matchmaker lah. But yes, so we do have one male currently.
Okay, what about Selvi?
Yeah, actually, in Indonesia branch, we don't have a male matchmaker, but we have dating consultant male, because mostly, girls more with empathy. So I think, yeah, girls is more like a best matchmaker, I guess.
Mm, interesting. So, like what both of them have shared, like we are not discriminating against males, lah. So just to make that very upfront, yeah. So we do have some male consultants. However, what we have seen is that a lot of people who apply to take on the role as matchmakers, most of them are females, and I think a lot of clients have also shared, be it they are male clients or female clients, they are most comfortable usually working with female matchmakers. Okay, so another question. So maybe this question for so anyway, it's quite funny. So one of our participants say I shouldn't call Geraldine Gigi because it's a new language, you know. But anyway, when I say Gigi is because at work we call her like Gigi, you know, like Gigi, like Gigi. Okay, I'll use Geraldine. Okay, so was there ever a couple you thought have potential, and then you almost gave up matching, like super challenging? So I think maybe the question is like, you thought like got potential, but then you are not sure, and then like maybe at the end you send or you didn't send. Yeah, I'm sure you know, you our matchmakers go through a lot of this deliberation. So maybe you want to share more.
Sorry, me, is it? Okay, so personally, I mean, of course, I think this is very common, to have a couple that, you're like, will this work or will this not work? But, sometimes, I believe that as matchmakers, we are trained in this, we are seeing profiles every day. Sometimes I also, go with my gut. And at the end of the day, I always believe, at least if you meet the person, you're giving yourself a chance. But if I never set up this match and they don't meet each other, the chance is totally like never there. Yes, so that's just what I
Mm.
believe. I believe just go for it.
Yep. Awesome. Thank you. Okay, so let me see. Okay, so we have another question here from Sunny. So Selvi, this is for you. So Sunny says that appearance is the most important criteria to me. Is a dating agency not suitable for me then? Selvi, what do you think?
Okay, thank you, Violet. So, of course, appearance is like a very important one because most of the time, the clients come to me and that they're looking for, oh, Sophie, I want, if a guy, I want a pretty one, and if a girl, like a female client, so I want a handsome one. Nobody wants, nobody asking for ugly ones. Yeah, I mean, it's normal for a human being because we like to see the first impression. But if you understand about the value of the relationship, the like the like pretty or handsome is not really important. The most important one is you get click and connected each other. So if you get connected, so you will like it's a two-way direction. Take and give. It's always take and give. Like that. So if no, you both of you already know that the two ways direction, I think is easier. Yeah, easier for you like to share your life. Thank you.
Thank you, Selvi. Okay, Gigi, so this one is for you. Are women or men more difficult as clients? Wow. Very loaded question.
To be honest, I don't discriminate. At the end of the day, we both face difficult clients in males and female clients. And at the same point of time, I also have, the best clients who are both males and females. So I'm really, really sorry. I cannot answer that question, but, both genders are equally difficult sometimes.
Okay, thank you for that very honest answer. Okay, so I think another question here, have you fall in love with your client or vice versa? Okay. So I think this one I answer lah. So we actually have a very strict policy that our consultants or our matchmakers and our clients cannot date lah. So I think some of you have asked just now, are most of our matchmakers or consultants single or attached or married? I would say most of our consultants and matchmakers are usually attached or married, but of course that is not a criteria when we are doing hiring, but it just happened that way. However, even if they are not attached or married, we make it very clear that, because it's a conflict of interest, like our clients cannot be dating our consultants. So if for that to happen, it's either like, the consultants can no longer be the consultant or the client can no longer be the client. So that's how we go about it. So I would say that's how we deal with it. So hopefully that that answers your question. Okay, let me see what other questions that we have. I know I'm running out of time very soon. Okay, so another question here. So Selvi, maybe this one is for you. Do you have any religious background or religious goals set as criteria? So I think they are asking about clients lah. Do clients usually set religious maybe criteria?
Yes, thank you, Valet. Yeah, actually, in here in Indonesia, religion is really matters, because our government also they just allowed to marry in one religion. But in my case, some clients they're open with different religions, and then if they're open with the different religion, I also asking like, so you think they need to convert or you just like respect other. So but right now people they are more like open-minded, they don't to like push or someone to you have to follow me and then change your religion and then following my religion. No, they're really open-minded, like, oh, I think that we can respect, the thing that I said, the getting connected is the most important ones, then the differences like that. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you, Selvi. Okay, so let's see. Another question. Can the matchmaker use the company service to match themselves if they are single and pay for the service? Okay, so I think this is a follow-up to what I've just said. So the answer is no. Because again, because the matchmaker would have the access to the database, so again there is a conflict of interest. So unless it's totally two different products, because we have different product lines, and if the matchmaker would not have access to that particular database, then that's something that we can look at. So I hope that you that answer your question. Okay, so I think I need to wrap up because we are just 2 minutes away. So thank you so much for all the questions, and I hope that you have had fun, like joining in the scenarios. So let us know if you had fun, let us know what is the main thing that you have learned from today's session. And of course, as promised, we always have something special for all our participants here. So for this week's webinar gift, we actually have a great ebook. So I'm not sure how many of you have actually heard of attachment styles, okay? So attachment styles is something that's very important to find out a bit more of, okay? So in this particular ebook, you get to know more about what your attachment style is, how would you actually impact you as a single and also a dater. So like for example, there are 4 different attachment styles like secure attachment, dismissive avoidant, fearful avoidant, and anxious, okay? So it will be good to find out, of course, what your attachment style is, and all you need to do to claim this ebook is you can just go to the link that Christina is now putting into the chat box. Okay, so you can just put in the link, you can get a copy of this ebook, and of course you get a free assessment with one of our matchmakers or our consultants as well. So thank you so much, guys, for your participation tonight. Time has passed very quickly today. Actually, I actually lost count of time because it was just, we were going like on so many different questions and so many different scenarios. So do follow us on our Facebook and our Instagram, and don't forget to sign up for our next webinar. So we are going to have our usual 9 p.m. on Thursday, and next week we'll be doing our Love Collective again. So I think some of you would have joined our Love Collective last month. So it's going to be very fun because we're going to help fellow singles with their dating questions or dating challenges. So as a change, I think, like similarly like tonight, you get to play Matchmaker. So as a change, you get to play Love Guru as well in the Love Collective. So you can start to register from tomorrow onwards at lunchactually.com/webinar. And of course, please do submit your love questions as well, because your question or your challenge might be chosen as one of the questions that we will answer at the Love Collective next week. So I really enjoyed the interaction that we have tonight, really enjoyed your enthusiasm, the interaction. And of course, once again, please join me to thank Geraldine and Selvi, who, came on after a very long day at work to come and share, and of course, share their confessions as a matchmaker. So please, send your thanks to them. And of course, not forgetting our wonderful Christina, who is always helping us behind the scenes, of putting together the webinar, and also putting together everything to ensure that things go smoothly. So thank you guys very much. I hope you enjoyed tonight. I hope you got a lot of great tips. I hope you enjoyed playing Matchmaker as well. And yes, if you are interested to be a matchmaker, you can always send in your CV. We will be happy to look at it, and who knows, you might be the next best matchmaker in lunch actually. So the link will be put up again. So just use the link to just claim your free webinar gift for this week, which is the ebook on attachment styles, and of course a free assessment with our dating consultant or our matchmaker. Yes. Okay, so thank you very much once again to Selvi and Geraldine. So, please feel free to log off right now, because I think this has been a very long day for you guys. I know you guys have been working tonight as well. I mean, the whole of today. Yep, so Christina and I will be staying on a bit more. So yes, good night, guys.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.